Russ Reynolds here at Market with the most famous man at Market, Mr. Kaspar, CEO of Wonder. Kaspar, tell us what problem your tech solves for retailers.
So originally when we started as Wonder Sign, as a signage company, as the kiosk company, the main problem we're solving is the lack of space. Right. So there's a physical constraint. I mean, everybody has in physical retail or brick and mortar retail, you only have so much space to showcase product. Do you have this in blue, in gray? Can I have something like this, but a slightly different configuration? Does it come in a different shape or orientation? And the endless aisle or extended aisle, as we called it, solves exactly that issue, right? So you can showcase more. You can, as a result, you can sell more. And it's all about, and I'm sure we're going to talk about this, right? Because that's big for FormPiper as well. It's all about the metrics.
Right.
What are the key metrics that we actually influence? And we don't influence foot traffic directly. It's a secondary for us, but we influence conversion rate, close rate, or whatever you want to call it, and we influence the average ticket size, or the average order amount. So those are the two main ones. And so that's how we started. And now over time it evolved. Our most recent product launch, which is the Wonder app, right? The mobile app for salespeople. It's really to push product training directly from the factory, from the supplier, onto the front lines and bypass a lot of the hurdles and obstacles that are in between.
Yeah, that's huge. And obviously with training, with any RSA, it's hard to hold people accountable. Do you guys do anything differently there to make sure they're using the app?
100%. So it's funny, right? Because it's an incentive, a SPIF application, and then training now is basically just a way to unlock the SPIF. That wasn't the same way in the beginning, right? So this whole project started as a training application. So we said, okay, how do we get the training, mostly for our own solution? How do we get kiosk training, endless aisle training onto or into these stores? And then we realized very quickly, well, how do you keep people accountable? How do you make sure they actually watch the training? And that's where the SPIF comes in, right? So the SPIF is essentially what we're wanting them to go after. And then the training is what unlocks the ability to earn the SPIF.
That is a great idea because like you said, what are they going to go after? What do you know they're going to do? And with that, though, you can see, I'm sure, when they are doing their training, how long they haven't done it, how long they've been told to do it.
100%. I mean, the entire analytics suite that comes with this, right? So it's really very granular in terms of somebody dropped off after 40% of watching the video. What's going on? Is it a problem on the user level or is it a problem on the content level? Because sometimes the training could also be boring, mundane, it doesn't really hit the spot. So it helps us, and also the feedback loop going back then to the supplier who provides the training helps them finagle a little bit and say, okay, maybe we need to shorten it a little bit or make it more attractive or more engaging for that target audience. So there's a lot of analytics and data points that we collect that we can play with, that we can feed back to the retailer and say, hey, hold your people accountable to actually doing the training, number one. We can also feed it back to the rep. Usually it's the independent sales rep that creates the training modules, right? Because that's what the application really does, is it solves their problem of scalability.
Right.
Because they have to drive 8 hours in the car to go and visit a store to train 2 people that showed up that day. And then half of them are left or gone the next month, right? Because turnover is so high. So that is the problem. So we're giving them the ability to say, okay, record the product training right then and there, and then send it out to hundreds of sales associates at the same time. So we fix that scalability issue. So we also feed it back to them, to the supplier rep, to say, here's the feedback that we're getting on the training. Are people giving thumbs up, thumbs down? Is it interesting? Is it boring? And then they can improve. And then back to the supplier to essentially make sure that when they put money into the program as a SPIF, that they actually get their return. But
awesome.
The beauty of a SPIF is you only have to pay it when people actually sell your stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So Kaspar, this is something we've been working on for a really long time, but we've got our partnership completed and we're hitting the streets. Tell us a little bit about how FormPiper and Wonder work together.
Yeah.
Work so well together.
Absolutely. I'm super excited about the partnership and excited about rolling it out finally, right? But we had to get it right. And I think that's really what it is, because there's a lot of solutions out there, that aren't ideal. They're leaning towards one versus the other lenders. Stuff is disjointed still. There's a lot of customer experiences that aren't fully thought through, where, you get the client and suddenly you have 19 additional fields that you have to fill out, and it's not a good experience. And all it does is it leads to drop off. It just leads to people getting frustrated. They walk out. They don't want to deal with it. And the biggest issue that we're seeing is, as soon as a retail sales associate loses confidence in a solution,
Yep.
you can complete that sentence for me, because
It's over.
it's over. No, because that's exactly what's happening, right? So what we want to do is we want to give them the solution that they can be confident in, they're proud of, they're saying, this is great. I don't have to run you through 5 different single lender applications, right? And then get the client 3 times. That's horrific.
Right.
Who wants to go through that?
Nobody.
So how do we work best together? In retail, for sales associates, the number one it's not even an objection. I can't say it's an excuse. The number one thing is, I'm good, I'm just browsing, right? It's the talk to the hand.
Yes.
I don't want to talk to you, salesperson. I'm just browsing. Everybody says that. What's the rebuttal? How do you come back, right?
Right.
So the kiosk has been a very, very good way of basically saying, oh, perfect. If you're just browsing, let me show you real quick. Here's our extended aisle. This is our full catalog. You might not see something you're looking for on the floor. You can find it here. We have access to over 20,000 SKUs from all kinds of suppliers.
That's awesome.
If you have any questions, let me know. And then you take a step back as an RSA, right? And you let them browse. And then in 9 out of 10 cases, the consumer waves the RSA back into the conversation. And then you have permission to sell them, right? So it kind of eliminates this standoffish
Sales
kind of,
standoff.
right? Yeah, it's a sales standoff.
Yeah.
That's really what it is. So it eliminates that. That makes it very collaborative and more like more of a consultant. And as soon as you wave me back in, yes, I can help you and say, yeah, absolutely, let's look over here. We have more options and all that kind of stuff. So the kiosk helps with that. And when it comes to the integration with FormPiper, the kiosk helps with some of the salespeople's hesitancy when it comes to pushing finance.
Right.
And I'm saying pushing for a reason, right? Because it's not. You're not pushing. You're providing a solution. You're making it affordable for them. But for some salespeople, and especially when training is not up to par, they feel like they're pushing something onto the consumer. They're hesitant. It's the same with protection plans, right? They feel like, I don't want to risk the deal. I don't want to jeopardize everything I've worked towards in the last 25 minutes with this customer. I'm not going to now suggest the protection plan. And more than anybody else, you have to mention it early and often.
Early and often.
Early and often, right? That's the mantra. So the kiosk does that in a very subtle way. It basically says, hey, if you want to apply for financing, if you want to see if you get approved, I'm right here.
Right here.
No pressure.
Yeah.
It's that kind of approach. So the kiosk helps the salesperson with taking the pressure off, not having that standoff. It's like I'm breathing down your neck. And, I'm trying to get you to do something. And the same applies for financing, right?
Couldn't agree
The same
more.
applies for that. And since it's with the FormPiper Waterfall, right? Since it's all soft pulls, so there's no hard inquiry, there's no negative impact to the consumer's credit score. Why wouldn't you apply?
Right.
And that's something the RSA can mention as they bring them over to the kiosk and say, oh yeah, by the way, if you want to see how much you qualify for over here, you can apply. There's no hard inquiry. There's no impact to your credits.
Yeah. It does the same thing too. What you said earlier, it's less pressure now. Like if there's no hard pull, why would you not fill it out? Just see
what you're approved for.
see what you're approved for.
Exactly.
And it makes it a little bit easier to have that conversation if you're the sales rep.
100%. And again, it ties back to what I said in the beginning. Which metric are we impacting? It's the conversion rate. It's the close rate, right? Being able to say yes more often. That's really what it comes down to. And any avenue, right? So I'm not delusional to say, oh yeah, the kiosk is the only way to apply for financing. No, it's one of many avenues that we have. It could be a QR code that is on the product, right? Because then it's top of mind.
Yeah.
It could be something, it has to be integrated to the POS. It has to be something that is on the RSA's tablet if they use tablets. Hopefully
Get them a shirt with the QR code.
Get them a shirt with the QR code.
Apply here.
I like that. That's good. No, but there's so many different avenues and not everything works the same for every single consumer.
Right.
So it's just one more step in the process where they see, okay, I can actually maybe get approved, for low monthly payments. Maybe I qualify for a 0% interest option.
Right.
That's perfect.
Yeah. That's good. All right, Kaspar, trivia question.
Oh, here we go.
Ready?
No,
How many months out of the year have 28 days in them?
every single month.
First one to get it. First one to get it. I knew you'd get it. I knew you had it.
I have kids.
Yeah.